Hello guys, I am Rahul from MIT Tandapura College, and I am going to present the input and output of one register bit. So as you know, one bit register is a, storage element that can store a single binary digit, either 0 or 1. It is commonly used in digital circuits and computer system for storing binary data. Let's go over the input and output of one bit register with an example. Components for one bit register. First one, the input, called it as D or data. Uh, a single bit value, either 0 or 1, that is stored in the register. To the output, it is denoted as Q. The stored value in the registered, which is either 0 or 1. Clock, if used in a sequential register like a flip-flop. Clock signal to control when the input value should be stored in the register. And operation, the register stores the value from the input when a clock signal triggers it. If there is no clock, the register holds the previous value. The output reflect the current stored value. And you can see the example. Next one. First, register initialization. Assume we have a one bit register that the initial value stored as Q is equal to 0 and the input is 0. Uh, Data bit to be stored in the register. Clock signal. Assume the clock signal is active and the input value is transferred to the register. After the clock triggers, the register stores the input value and the output Q is equal to 0 because the input was 0. And second one, changing the input. Now, if we change the input to 1 while the clock signal is active, input is 1. Clock signal again, assume the clock triggers. After this, the register update is stored value. Output output Q is equal to 1 because the input was 1. And you can see the truth table, the clock and the input D and the output Q. When clock is 0, the input D is 0 and Q and output Q is 0. When the clock is 0 and the input D is 1, then the output Q is 0. When the clock is 1, the input D is 0, then the output Q is 0. When the clock signal is 1, then the input D is 1 and the output Q is 1. Uh, yeah. In this truth table, when the clock is 0, the output does not change regardless of the input value. When the clock is 1, the output updates to match the input value. Uh, Key concept, the one bit register stores a single binary value and updates its output whenever the clock allows it the latest input value. Thank you.